Today we're going to be taking a look at this guy right here, the Godox ML60. Let's check it out. So in the box you get the ML60 itself, a grip handle which is super awesome, we'll cover that in just a minute. You get a battery box, a power adapter, an adapter holder, the reflector, a lamp cover to cover the chip itself, a 5-meter AC power cable, a 1.5-meter DC power cable, a 0.2-meter DC power cable, the clip mount, and a carrying case. I think it's really cool that Godox actually includes a case with this light, especially when you look at the rest of their lineup. Some of their lights don't actually include cases unless you go for the higher tier models, which are quite a bit more expensive. So the fact that they include a case with this is pretty nice, and it's actually a pretty nice case. But I don't think that that's the main thing that this light is going to be known for. I think the main thing this light is going to be known for is its size and portability. This light is tiny. Look at how small this thing is. Just to give you a comparison, this is the Sigma 85mm f1.4 Art Series lens. Now, by no means is this a small lens, but this definitely is a small light, especially compared to the competition at its output, which is 60 watts. It comes in weighing 1.7 pounds, and it just makes this light so portable, especially the fact that it can be battery powered. So with the included grip handle, this is the handle right here, it mounts into the battery box just like that. And it runs off of 2 Sony NP style batteries. Now it does not include batteries with it, but I will actually leave a link down below for a vendor that will include the light with the batteries and the optional remote, which we'll go over in just a minute. But it can run for a long time, and you can actually check the battery status just by pressing the button there. Now you do have to have 2 batteries in it. It cannot run off of just 1 battery, but I think lots of us have these batteries laying around, and they're pretty cheap anyways. But it mounts to the grip handle with a 1/4-20 mount at the bottom of the light. I think it's really cool that this light has a 1/4-20 mount, because that makes it where you can mount this light all over the place. And so you just screw it onto the grip handle just like that. Now it's got this cable that actually locks into the battery box. This is the 0.2-meter cable, but it does have a longer cable that you can use as well if you want to separate the two. But you twist it on there, it locks, and then you can just plug it right into the back of the light, take the cover off, and then you can use the included reflector that actually increases the light quite a bit. You can see that they've done quite a bit to it compared to the older models. This light is super portable. It has a stand here at the bottom of the battery box, so you can just sit it down just like that and walk away from it. On the bottom of the handle, it's got a mount to be able to mount it on a C-stand or a light stand, and it's just so convenient and so bright. That's 100% right there. Let's see if I can get some cool lens flares going on. I don't want to blind you guys too much, but this light is just super convenient. It actually helped me out recently. I covered for a friend and did some real estate photography, and I didn't want to use flash, so I wanted to use some continuous light, but I didn't want to take big lights with me and have to worry about cables and moving things around all over the place as I go from room to room. So I had picked up this light and took it with me, and it made things so convenient because I stuck it on a cheap light stand. I was actually doing some HDR photos, and I was able to maneuver this light around the rooms very easily, not having to worry about cables or anything like that. Take my shots, and this thing ran. I did 2 different properties, and I ran off of both these Sony NP 970 batteries the whole day, and it gave me no issues whatsoever. So I think that's the biggest selling point of this light, is that it is so portable. The other thing is that it is a 60-watt light. It's pretty powerful for its size, and it's pretty accurate. It's got a CRI rating of 96 and a TLCI rating of 97 according to Godox. Now, I don't have anything to actually check that with to verify that that's what it is. I can say that it does match my other lights pretty well, but I have seen other videos where people have tested it with light meters and things like that, and it does prove to be true to what Godox says as far as accuracy goes. Now, it's adjustable from 0 to 100%. That may not sound like a big deal to some people, but to some people it is a big deal, especially when you look at Godox's older SL60W, which I think this is the light to replace that. That would only go down to 10% and only 25% if you use the remote. It's super quiet. Even at 100%, you can barely hear the fan running. I know that was a big complaint on Godox's previous models. A lot of people rendered them as unusable when it comes to video work just because of the fact that you could hear the fan noise in your videos. So they've listened to their customers and they have made this thing super quiet. But if that's not good enough for you, which I think at 100% the fan noise is going to be good enough for most people, but if it's not, they actually give you the option to be able to turn off the fan. It does kick the power output down to 50%, so you can't go above 50%, but even still, I think with the amount of light that this light puts out, 50% is going to be good for a lot of people, and that's worst case scenario if you need this thing absolutely super quiet. It's got 8 different effects built in. Now, that's not a big thing to me. I'm not going to go buy this light just to have those effects. It's got like lightning and TV and things like that, but I do think that it's cool that it does include those features because you never know when you might need them, and especially how portable this light is, that does make it quite convenient. Again, it's got an optional remote. This uses the RCA6 remote, and you can be able to control everything on the light using the remote. Now, this remote is not compatible with the older SL series, so if you have those lights and you're thinking that you would be able to control it, this does take a different remote. And again, it's kind of sad it doesn't include the remote, but they are pretty cheap. You can find them anywhere from $8 to like $15 online. And again, I left links down below where you can find this light as a package, just because I always look for those deals. So the mount is Godox's own proprietary mount, and I think that's probably because of the size of this light. They couldn't use a Bowens mount. They did come out with a softbox for this light, which is the Godox ML60 LED. It is a smaller softbox, but it does come with a grid and things like that. But this light can be converted over to Bowens mount using the Godox S2 adapter. It actually mounts around the light and then has a Bowens adapter on the front of it. And that adapter can also be used for flashes and things like that if you're also into flash photography. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. If it weren't for that fact, I probably would not have gotten this light, just because I don't want to have multiple softboxes that have, you know, their own mounts. I use Bowens for everything. So my overall opinion of this light, I think it's really awesome for the price. At the $250 range, and for its portability, and especially the amount of output that this light produces, is just phenomenal. And I hope that a lot more lights begin to, you know, downsize like this, where we don't have these ginormous lights and they become more portable, because it definitely just makes things very convenient. The two main things that I don't like about this light is the fact that it's not Bowens mount straight off, and then also that it doesn't have the app like some of the other Godox lights have. I think that's really cool that you can have an app to be able to control multiple of these, because I think a lot of people probably will get multiples of these lights, you know, versus getting a big light. They can probably get several of these for the same price and be able to control them in groups with a single app is pretty convenient, rather than, you know, having to worry about losing a remote, especially since it doesn't come with the remote. But overall, I think this light is really awesome. I'm really happy to have it. It has already served me well, and it is very, very convenient. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.